Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for pulling through. I wanted to ask you how you're doing, but you actually rocked up in a wheelchair, and it seems that there's a bit of an injury that you've suffered over here.
I tore both ligaments in my ankles, so I'm down bad for a minute. But can't keep a girl like me down.
You
I'm still out here.
Definitely cannot. So you're back in SA, and my goodness, it's been, gee whiz, a whirlwind, the past 3 years or so. Want to go back to when you were recording Elements.
Right.
Of course, the debut EP. I remember when we had the telephonic, you said that it was quite an interesting project to do because you were recording a lot of the material in your room.
Not in my room actually, but in my producer's dorm room and in my
Dorm room.
co-producer's garage.
Yeah. So when you look back at that and then you hear things like you had the most streamed song of the year, I mean, how crazy has the journey been for you over the last couple of years?
It's been amazing. It's been a very humbling experience. I think it's really just more than anything opened my heart up more,
Yeah.
It's been great. It's an amazing feeling, and I just appreciate the fact that I've been accepted with such open arms.
Yeah, you have. And the thing is, I like to describe you as a brave artist because you really stick to who you are. You're not trying to, let me do a pop record so that everyone's buying it and everyone's streaming it. You really stick to who you are as, your core rather, as an artist, which is R&B. And in a South African context, R&B hasn't necessarily been the most celebrated genre, the most popular. You see house and amapiano at a certain stage. It was hip hop. So tell me about that, when you were looking at, this is the material I'm doing, how were you feeling about what the reception possibly could be?
I think when I was putting my EP together, I was just honestly putting it together for me. I think Elements was a very personal project for me, I really love music and I just wanted to, if anything, prove a point to myself, and it just blew all of my expectations, and it just really made me appreciate and really focus on my craft more, because I realized that there were people that actually really enjoy it, and I'm not the only sad girl out there, I'm not the only lover girl out there, so it's a great feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And also in the past few years, I can imagine that there's been so many changes, not just for you, but in terms of your team as well. Sure, there's been a lot of different things that have been happening, and you seem like you're hands-on. So are you one of those where you're allowed also to say, listen, this is the direction I want to take, and this is who I would sort of like on my team?
All the time. I think I'm like a perfectionist with everything. I think that's why I take my time with putting out music, take my time with putting out projects, because I really want to, represent myself the way I'm feeling at that specific time, era, whatever it is. I'm in a new era now. You see the blue hair, you see everything. I'm in album mode now, so I have a lot of I have a lot of love for my team. We work very hard to bring my vision alive. They work very hard to bring visions that match my energy, match my feelings. And I'm actually here with my creative director Wanda. I'm here with Karabo. I'm here with my best friend Petile. Kia's here too. So
Oh, there's more people. I didn't see everyone else arrive.
There's a whole lot of people. So I've got a fire team for sure.
Yeah, definitely do. Now let's chat a little bit about songwriting. You're a great songwriter, and I can imagine that you're not always necessarily in the zone. So how does Elaine get into, okay, now I'm penning down some lyrics?
For me, songwriting can happen at any minute. I mean, when it was the Elements EP, I wrote most of that in like lecture halls and all of that. Right now, I'm inspired by so many different things, so many different people. I write when I'm, maybe in the car. I write when I'm perhaps in the plane, anywhere. Like I'm always in my feels. So I always have something to say. So the songwriting part for me is the most amazing part of it all, really, because I feel like that's where I can express myself most. That's where I get to touch base with myself. So maybe after a long day, I'll just pen some stuff down, or after a long relationship, I'll just pen some stuff down. It depends.
Now with the move to the States, you obviously said that that's where you're living now, and your career is just booming now. I mean, in South Africa it has been booming, and now we're looking to see more that's going to come out on that side of the world. Now, what's the process like? What have been the biggest differences for you recording music back home and now going to, I guess, what they say is the big time, basically?
Well, I think it was just sort of like moving from recording in like producers' garages and dorm rooms to like recording in like studios with like a bigger production team and all of that. So it's definitely a learning curve to see how big and understand to what scale like creating music can go. But if anything, it's just made me appreciate it more and just be happy that I'm in the position to experience all of that.
Yes. I want to talk about Shine now. Of course, it's the brand new single. You dropped it a couple of months ago. It's been on the chart, I guess, ever since it dropped back then. And I remember after it dropped on Twitter, I was seeing some tweets where, you know, some people, you know, Twitter, people say whatever they want and think
Twitter
that
can be dark.
Oh, so dark. And, you know, people were saying, it's too different from the stuff that she was doing. But when Right Now dropped, it was, but this sounds like the same as everything, you know? And it's just, how do you handle stuff like that? Because I can imagine you're like, this is, you know, this is my body of work, your labor of love, really. Now people say whatever they want to about it.
I don't handle that. I handle me, my business, my music, my rollouts, you know. And it's funny because y'all saying all of that, but it was still number one on the R&B charts.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Right Now, Shine, all of that was up on top. So, you know, it's also, it's good that there's people that say things like that, because that also, you know, opens my mind to a different perspective, I guess. But I don't take any of that to heart when I'm creating. You know, I am multifaceted, I am multi-talented. There are so 100%. Many more sides to me than just being a sad girl. And besides, you'll get all the sad material on the album. So
hey, all right, that album, Elaine's mentioned the album twice, and we said we're getting her here because we need more answers about this album. So we're going to get
on myself. I'm telling on myself.
We're going to get into all of that, but hey, very quickly, last week Shine was at number 22, and very happy to let you know that you've hit a new peak this time around. You move up 4 to land at a new peak of number 18. So we're getting closer to that number 1 spot. Yes, she is. It's Elaine at 947. She's one of the best-selling South African artists, a South African Award Music winner as well, South African Music Award winner rather, and she is in studio. That debut album is coming. We are so damn excited. It is Elaine, and you've mentioned this debut album now. And does it feel strange though, you know, for you, because you've had quite a lot of big singles. There's been the EP. And it feels like you have got an album out already, but you still don't. So,
I'm just a girl with an EP.
not just any girl with an EP and a few singles. Come on, you're being far too humble over here. Far too humble. But no, really, sometimes does it feel like, you know, you've got all of this material out? And for us it does. But for you personally, I know that you're probably very meticulous about your work. So,
just like even where I'm at right now, I think I've been working on this debut for like 2.5 years. So I'm sitting on so much music. And so it definitely does feel, it feels wonderful actually, you know, to already have fans that love and appreciate me. So I can only imagine, you know, how much they'll appreciate the album as well.
Yeah, definitely will. And we've seen via your snaps and that sort of thing, there are some producers here and there that you possibly might be working with. I know one of them, literally social media came to a halt in SA when everyone saw you working with Kate Renata. Yeah, we've been in some sessions. He's cool. Are you allowed to let us in on any other producers' secrets, maybe who you've worked with?
Of course I'm allowed to, but I'm secretive.
Oh,
so,
no.
You know,
come on.
You know,
Just
and
one
it
little.
takes the fun out of everything.
That's true. That's
you know
true.
I mean?
Yeah. It does. But in terms of the album that is coming up, you know, what sort of a sound can we expect, I guess, from you? You know, you're not allowed to get us in on producers and that sort of thing, but yeah.
Let's just say it's going to be a very sad girl winter. Let's just say we're going to weep.
So we're all going, what about the guys? Are we not going to be weeping as well? So all of us together.
The guys are going to be sad too, you know.
Yeah.
Some relationships may shake, some relationships may renew.
All right.
It all depends on where you guys are at in life. But, you know, the past 2.5 years I've experienced a lot. I'm not the girl I was, you know, when I was 19 and writing about love at 19. You know, my perspective and how I feel about it now has changed, grown, and all of that. And I'm sharing that with everybody on the album as well. My heartbreak, all my pain, everything that I've been suffering from personally. So it's a very, very honest, very deep. It's very deep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, so I'm getting excited as you say that the past 2 years have been tough. It's deep because I'm like, that means the material's gonna be fire.
Yeah, the material is all just real and raw.
Yeah. All right. Now there was a clip that you had played, or you actually posted it on Instagram. I think it was.
I was in a happy sharing kind of mood.
You were, yeah. It's deja vu. I've got that clip over here. Let's take a listen to this.
Now that you just a man seeing that we made it this far. But I know what I know now, it's not like before. And you're just a man after all. But we keep running around in circles, doing the same thing. And I know you'll never change, but I'll keep coming back to you, back to you. Look what it is, deja.
Oh, sad girl, winter is coming. We've got load shedding, so there's no power. It's going to be cold. You're going to need someone to hold, I can imagine, in that period. So
you guys have got a few months.
you're forcing us to find somebody. You're single right now. Elaine doesn't want any of that. So
Make a plan.
let's
Quick
make
one.
a plan by then. So that's deja vu. I think that's what you had posted in the caption. Has this made the cut for the album?
Of course.
It has,
Yeah.
it has. All right, and it's, I mean, you never know with these things. It's not necessarily a single. It is just one of those tracks that are on the album and you haven't really decided yet. What's coming up next for us?
This is gonna be a single.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
All
is coming
right.
soon. I think this is just sort of like an introduction to how the album is sounding, feeling, the direction. Because I know a lot of people are just confused. Like, am I gonna take it, you know, the shine direction? Am I gonna take it the now direction?
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of experimenting. There's a lot of versatility. But Deja Vu is sort of like a common ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, and I want to get into some of your inspirations. I had an interesting conversation with a friend last night because, you know, everyone always say that, Elaine sounds like this person or that. But, you know, the deeper and the longer you listen to the music, even with Elements, there's a common theme. But you can hear with the different production and even within the lyrics that there is something different about each record that is on this. So we were going back and forth, throwing around so many different names, being like, oh, I hear a little bit of this. And, you know, so who were you listening to, I would say, you know, growing up and even now, who are you listening to currently?
So I listen to a lot of Whitney Houston, Beyonce, Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill.
Yes.
So for me, that's sort of like my, you know, my inspiration, or like what to me R&B feels and sounds like. You know, so yeah, some real soul, just heartfelt, sincere, all of that.
All right, and coming up in the next couple of months, of course, we know that album is coming. I'm not going to ask you more about that. I'm going to leave it because I'm just pushing you into a corner, and labels probably like, get her out of this interview right now. Get her out of the room. But the next few months, you know, coming up, have you got any performances lined up? You know, some of that stuff. I can imagine there's a lot of stuff that you're working on and shooting, but have you got any tours lined up, anything like that?
Yeah, of course. So actually tonight I'm at Rockets, just, you know, kind of
Hey.
out. Yeah, but I do have a South African tour that I'm planning.
Nice.
So after the album's out, we're gonna be on the road.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gonna be fun. I've actually never performed in South Africa. So
Really?
It's gonna be a debut album, you know, just a big debut.
It's a debut era, really.
Era. Yeah. Debut
Yeah.
era. It's just popping right now.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. But hey, Elaine, thank you so much for coming through today, for sharing the music with us. We thought that we'd be able to drag more out of you about this album, but we completely understand.
I've been
Completely.
sharing.
No, you have. I know you have, and understand. You're a professional, and hey, what's the fun in it if we
Where's
already
the
know
fun in
everything
it,
that's coming,
guys?
right?
Where's the fun in it? Like,
Yeah.
where's the surprise element, you know?
Yeah,
Right,
completely feel you. But thank you so much for pulling through once again, even though you're a little bit injured. We really, really appreciate it. There's actually quite a few messages that are coming. A lot of people are just saying, oh my God, Sally Lane, I love her. We usually ask for questions and everyone's just like, I don't have a question. Just tell her that I absolutely love her. So,
I loved it.
yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a great time here.
Awesome. Enjoy Rockets, and we'll be looking forward to the release of that album.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah. That's Elaine on the 947 Top 40 powered by CTM. Shine currently at number 18. If you want to get it to number 1, stream. Check out the video on YouTube as well as request the hell out of it. And you could be getting Elaine yet another number 1 on the Top 40.